Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023 Winter DRRT. We have a great deal of submissions this time around. We have, how many? That's 49 submissions. Do you see this? The sandbox is nearly just taken up. It's huge. So many. My goodness.
Vast amount of starships.
Right now, it's filled up, and y'all know how big it is and how big these ships look. Let's go from the beginning. Our first ship that we have is called Atropos by Lucifer, who is a first-time competitor in DRRT, but has submitted to other terms in the past, it looks like, because this ship looks fairly competitive. Any insights, folks?
Yeah. I think this is very clearly a Terran ship. Got some nice spaced armor. You can tell by the asteroid thrusters. And behind the shields, we are revealing a large stack of, I believe, proton beams.
Looks like it.
Those look like antimatters to me. Do 3? What are they?
Mode 3 constructor. These are indeed proton beams.
There we go. You see, the answers are clear.
The power of the sandbox.
Yeah, no, that's a hyperstack. That's a hyperstack brick roller.
It sure is. All right,
Cool.
Moving on. The next one, we have the Akari Empire artillery vessel. Sorry, that's the wrong ship name.
Assault
That's
cruiser.
the name
Assault
of the
cruiser.
last one. This is the Akari Empire assault cruiser, as it says in the lower right.
Owl gave up with being an artillery ship, clearly. The artillery days are over. Now it's assault. Now we bring the fight to the enemy. What is this? Is this? I mean, this
Short
has to
range?
be Tinkerell, right?
This is a relatively
What is-
short-range Tinkerell. Check out how long the gun is. It's only
my
from
goodness.
there to there.
That's a lot of damage.
It's
no.
pretty tiny, but there's
That's
many.
a lot of damage.
1, 2, 3,
There's
4,
3
5,
of
6,
them.
7, 8. No, that's not what.
There's 9.
9?
Why-
There is 9. Yeah. There
Why
are
there
9 guns
out?
on this ship, right?
Cool. Right. I'm scared. I should have submitted to Sonder Mark II. Damn it. Why am I like this? Look at all the little going up and down and the diagonals, and he makes it look like they're
There's some
pieces
stacked
of
armor,
high.
too.
Oh yeah, there's stacked armor. Wow, Owl's competitive.
Now let's move on for the sake of time. We got a ship by Dal Rethland and his friend George. This is paired with the other submission that Dal has sent, which is called Oh No, It's Bob. So it's like Oh No, It's Bob and his friend George.
Wait, so here's my question: are they talking about one another or themselves? Oh, so this one is Bob and the other is George. That's the 3D. That's the 3D move here. Either way, insanely hyperstacked Terran assault ship with lots of proton swords. That's madness and torpedoes. Torpedoes are normal missiles. Oh yeah, burst shields. You're right. Okay, lots of normal missiles.
Aggressive.
It does look very aggressive. Are those antimatters in the front? What are those? Or the shields? Those are
Shields,
shields. Sorry.
stacked on top of blocks to make it
Gee
look like
whiz.
there's barrels.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's a very cool looking ship. I like it.
hey, Duke, can you tell us a little bit about the standardized factions power of these weapons?
Oh yes. Recent changes. We increased the minimum range on almost all of the weapons that had like less than 500. So cannons went up to like a minimum of 700 range, and lasers went up to a minimum of 600 for the most part. And proton swords got a pretty sizable range buff.
And that's going to make the ship cut deeper.
A lot better.
And that's dangerous. I'm excited for that one.
Okay.
All right, our very next one is a ship by me. I did not tell you guys about this one, but I did it anyway.
Bombardier Beetle.
This right here is called Bombardier Beetle. It's kind of exactly what it looks like. It's a Sentinel. It's got annihilators. It's got a big ball of thrust in the front, a big ball of thrust in the back, and those are both kind of around the CG. And yeah, it's got the power of Sentinel armor, etc.
Very powerful.
Nice and simple. Shall we move on? There's a lot of armor right next to us that I think we should probably take a look at. Would you look at that? It's everyone's favorite brick. It's another brick by skill. This time, it will not get red carded because it is beneath the max points in the tournament.
Hey, nice.
Wait, I have a
Yeah.
question here. Does it have any weapons other than the 2 nukes?
Nope.
That's all it's for. There we go. The nuke troll supreme.
We're back to the beginning of NMSX.
Neutral supremacy. Oh man, Brickatron legalized. Beautiful. Not a whole lot to say about it. This Brickatron. It can move fast, I guess. Okay, thanks, Skill. Thank you, Skill.
Oh, would you look at that?
Moving
It's
on.
anottle brick by skill. This
Brick
is
Sonder.
lapses. Yeah, it's Brick Sonder.
What do you mean it's lapses?
Oh,
Associate me with this?
This is another Jasonder derivative. Of course, Jasonder is made by Laps. It's got 4 velocity amplifiers, which causes it to
Velocity
fire
amps.
at the same rate as Jasonder. It's got
Yeah,
a bunch
and
of
it's
damage
got
amps.
80 damage amps. Does it have 80? Debris.
80?
Constructor mode, count
Let's
them
see.
for me.
Let's see.
And
We have 80, yes.
80. It's literally
Do you
just
know how many
copied the
range
Sonder
amps you
gun.
have?
Yes, I do.
Is it 29?
What do you mean? Of course I know. Yeah, of course I know how many range amps the Sonder has.
Do you have it memorized? It's on the front of your mind
Yes.
at all times? This is what a true Reassembly
Debris-
veteran looks like, folks.
Debris, what part about the Sonder video where you literally say a highly optimized Tinkle gun doesn't say that Laps knows about what the stats of his highly optimized Tinkle gun are?
Yeah.
No, so he's literally got the Sonder gun. That's terrifying. Okay. That's
Yeah.
I love this ship and hate it. Okay, great. Moving on.
Our next one is called
Buster version,
Buster. Hey, Duke, this is your ship. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. Some of you who were here for the last winter event might recognize this. This is a close relative of Duster, the ship that got voted off the island when I asked the Twitch chat, which ship should I submit? So this was paired alongside Beetlejuice back then for one of the 2 ships I was considering for my unstacked. So if you look,
Very cool.
there's no stacking. 0.
Respectable. No, Duke,
A
yes.
fun building challenge. But yeah, Buster's got a lot more health than your average Terran skirmisher, but at heart, Buster is a skirmisher.
The one little laser that's in the center there, is that an AI trigger?
Oh yeah, if you turn on Builder, that
you go.
is in
Trigger.
fact an AI trigger.
Pretty cool.
And then
Through a very hodgepodge selection of blocks to the front, so that when the front blows up,
yeah,
it goes
there's
very
long
efficient.
tries in front of the laser that break off in a particular way. But yeah, this ship it's got like 19 proton beams, some antimatter cannons, just a smattering of Terran's best and brightest.
Let's move on to another fairly terrifying
next.
Terran ship. This one is by Kaboom, who is not on stream with us today, but he will be tomorrow, I believe. Called Chernobyl. This right here, it's named after probably that nuclear reactor because what it does is it has mine launchers. It creates a minefield. It's radiation.
I see.
Just covers the arena in mines. And ouch! Mines are not a very common weapon in DRRT. In fact, I don't think any ship except for like Bar Rage may have used mines. I mean, what if you even call shards mines? This one uses mines, normal Terran mines. And finally, we get to see what happens when these are used. Well, when these are able to be used in the most competitive way possible. Any other thoughts, folks?
Very exciting. Very exciting.
You're welcome. I gave them the power that they hold, and we're looking into taking away some of that power.
Thank you, Duke. Thank
Yeah,
you. We shall remember to blame you.
And he was very proud of the stacks.
Yeah,
That's insane. Yeah, that's
it's all about
I
the
don't-
launch vector.
Oh, I hate it. It's amazing. this and Owl's ship and the other. What's the other one? They give me degrees of builder's anxiety I cannot comprehend. Okay, next.
Next one. Hey, look at that. We got some very similar looking ships. This one right here is called the Cornstar
Cornstar.
AF-75
Ooh, I love it.
by Kepler, or Jamie, as some are remember know him from the Discord. This is a similar ship to the iconic DRRT logo ship. If we pull up the logo, hey, look at that. It looks like Darkstar, who's right here. It looks like Darkstar. Nice.
Does look like.
And
It's a very cool looking ship, I have to say, for a Cornstar. It's actually quite nicely composed. Is that all unobtainium? It has to be.
I think it's just regular armor. I don't think you can.
Right.
yeah.
Oh no, it is a regular armor. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
unobtainium is like really, really shiny for no reason.
Very cool. Okay, that's Cornstar.
moving on, we got the not derivative version. This is called Darkstar Dreadnought. And y'all have probably seen what this thing can do. This is by Duke Slayer, who's on the stream with us, as you all already know. What's the quote? Let me see if I can remember this. It's got this massive array of plasma condensers, a bunch of missiles in a nice ring, an extremely recessed core, and an absolutely insane double-stacked column of armor down the middle.
Amazing.
And
Darkstar is an iconic ship, first submitted to DRRT.
as I mentioned before, it has become the logo of the tournament, and it has been since DRRT 6, which is 4 tournaments ago. Oh my goodness, it's Darkstar!
Cool. It's Darkstar. Yeah, we don't have much to say. It's Darkstar. It's a egregiously hyper-stacked competitive ship. I hate you, Duke. Okay, next.
Next, we got ourselves D-Saber by Bluefish 1818. This is a Dusonder-like. It's a Siege Tinker-like. It doesn't have the exact same firing pattern because it only has two velocity amplifiers, so it doesn't fire as quickly.
Yes.
But I believe it has many more damage amplifiers. So each shot is more impactful, but doesn't fire as quickly.
There is a rather marked energy efficiency gain you can have by having less velocity amps. Every single velocity amp is an insane inefficiency increase to your energy usage. So you need to find a nice perfect balance between higher fire rate and a point of exponential excess where you're using way more energy than you need to. So reducing the vel amps on this should make it fire for a lot longer, but also giving it more damage amps takes a lot more power. It's interesting. There should be hopefully a stronger sustained damage dealer than the Sonder, but it might be really weird. We'll have to see. Okay.
More importantly, it's a sword.
Yeah.
More importantly, it is a D-Saber.
Fly me closer so I can hit them with my sword.
Hit them with my D-Saber.
That's D-Saber by Bluefish.
Very cool.
Let's move on to another Dusonder derivative. This one's called Debsonder, and that's by me. So this ship is foam, but large, and has longer range. Foam was a ship I submitted to last winter. It is a little tiny tinker little thing that just zips around the arena. It was initially submitted to one of Sepulcrum's free-for-alls, or at least a old version that was subpar compared to Foam was submitted to one of those. And this uses the exact same gun with more range amplifiers. That's kind of all you need to know.
Cool. Neat.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's semi-stationary foam.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I was going to say, if Deb is short for Deborah, is this actually a daughter of the Sonder? Is this the first daughter of Sonder? Sondaughter?
I think it might be. It is also asymmetrical in an unintentional way, in the worst way possible, and I'm not going to look at it very long so you can find out.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
This right here is DRRT's Decision, I believe. This is a ship by Bluefish, the second submission. It is a drone ship. It's got a bunch of drones in a bunch of arrays.
Ooh.
Oh, this puts Armada Master to the task. I love it.
Carrier.
Indeed.
I like it. Looks nice. I like the rows. It looks like they're all sitting down in a choir. They're about to sing their songs of war.
The Sonder.
The Sonder. Why is the Sonder the song of war? Wait.
Yeah.
I like the
Doom music
compactness.
kicks in.
Yeah.
Very compact. I agree.
Looks like
really
some
cool.
nice armor
Like-
inlays, some adapter accents. Chef's kiss.
Indeed.
Nice.
Looks pretty cool. Let's scoot over to our next ship.
Oh my goodness, why is this a thing? Why? I don't know.
Well-
I feel greatly wronged.
This right here.
The Sonder's Pair by Choice 18. It's
Indeed.
a drone Sonder with torps. It literally is a torp Sonder. Torp Sonder. Forget about torp Rolder. This is torp Sonder, boy. Oh my goodness, that is gonna core things. I love it. I so look forward to this thing doing something.
I don't believe torps have a max range. They basically just go pretty much to the end of the arena, right?
So
Yeah.
they solved the one problem that Tingle could never solve, sitting just out of firing range like an idiot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good work. Good work, the Sonder's Pair. Oh no.
Very excited to see
Beautiful.
this one in the arena. Notably, it does not meet the
Okay.
acceleration requirement forward, but it does meet it backward. So that's why it has
Okay.
75 right there. Cool. Well, that's
Next
just
ship.
Sonder's pair. Next one is Dick Sonder by Sepulcrum. Why don't you tell us a bit about
Sonder.
this ship?
Looks like foam. Kinda. It's using the smallest scale thrusters, which is good because those are the efficient thrusters. When your
Indeed.
ship is small, you want the small thrusters.
Thank you, Duke. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's foam Sonder, which is why I don't understand. Sepulchrum, why?
It's basically Hummingbird with really long
Right.
guns.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
cool.
Hummingbird that can. It doesn't even have to dock to the flower to get the nectar out. It can just hang in air. Really
Shoot
far
the flower.
away. Beautiful. Yeah, 100%.
All right, and now let's look at this one. Eliasio by Exturp 7. This is
It's a-
what is it?
Z is French.
Ah, Lazio. Okay.
It's
It's a
pretty cool.
Gorse Sentinel. Neat. We haven't seen a Gorse Sentinel for a while. Where is all of its P? Is it all just in Gorses? It
Gauss
does have
costs
a lot of
a
Gorses.
lot.
Yeah, that's a fair bit of Gauss. And
That's
if you can
absurd.
fire all those Gauss beams
Oh,
at
yeah.
some little soft little target, like, I don't know, this ship, maybe that ship, maybe this ship, maybe this ship, then, oh man, it's dead. It's gone. Very likely. So that's pretty cool.
Should basically one-shot most of them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's so small and not that tough that I think it's going to get one shot by a bunch of other things as well.
And it has flurry missiles.
Nice little ship. I like its design. It's got the little engine ports. Very cool. Nice. Looks good. Looks good.
No stacking needed.
Here's the
What am
next
I looking
one.
at?
This one's much more funny, I
Oh
think.
my goodness.
This is called Ferminate
Ferminate.
by MGW.
Oh, that's insane. What the hell is this? I love it.
In typical MGW
So
fashion,
weird.
we got ourselves a asymmetrical design. It uses some very simple thrust arrangement. It uses a very simple set of other things. It's gloriously simple, but also gloriously complex in MGW fashion. We've got, what are those? Oh yeah, they're plasma diffractors.
What? Okay.
And these are plasma condensers, smaller scales. They're all smaller scales, which is, interesting. But yeah, a lot of plasma diffractors on this design, which are a weapon that we don't commonly see from Crystal, but are the only splash cannons Crystal have.
I don't know if they got buffed in the last patch.
They got a range buff, but it's
Like a
still
small
like
range
pretty
buff.
short range.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
do
very-
love the tail.
It is fast.
The tail is wonderful. I do love the tail. That's a really nice.
This is a fast
It's
ship.
really nicely done. Oh,
355 acceleration. It's pretty quick indeed. That is Ferminate by MGW.
okay.
Let's
we
move on
look
to our
forward
next
to
one.
this. Oh,
Here-
what is this? Oh, why is this super cool?
A joint submission
Oh my
between Duke
goodness.
and Lucifer called Full Monty. Why don't you tell us a bit about it, Duke?
Oh my goodness.
So we had a very ambitious idea. Why should we make one ship when we could make more than one ship? This ship demonstrates a novel idea where the core, if you look around that kind of circular area near the core, is an entirely separate design philosophy than the rest of the ship. And there's a ring that will snap off and deploy Monty from his big mech suit. So the mech suit is just there, so Monty can't handle a lot of targets on his own, so he needs his mech suit to go deal with that for him.
Sure.
The kind of orange lines you see going throughout the ship, that's where
Yeah.
his mech suit splits apart when he is released.
Oh, that's so cool. Why is it so cool?
And
Oh, it's such a good looking ship. Oh man. Okay.
I have to give credit for the Lucifer. Helped me a lot along the way. He's not here right now. We originally were gonna try for 3 phases, but that was too much. We ran out of time, so we ended up doing 2 phases. The outside ship is heavy turrets and Bolsheviks, and then Monty is whole buttload of Bolsheviks, some longbows.
Cool.
Should be cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah, very unique look. I love it.
Hey, also,
Okay,
is that Kaboom who just joined the stream?
It is.
Must be.
Hey, welcome.
Okay, next
We'll
ship.
have to
Let's
hash
go.
that out. But yeah, okay, next one. We've got another
2014.
MGW ship called
Oh my
Giant
goodness. Oh.
Cogs. So,
Again, that is so funny and pretty cool.
as a huge
Oh.
fan of Gears, I'm a fan of this ship. This thing looks very pretty, also in typical MGW fashion, in some just ridiculous way. Look at this. These are what you call
hell?
what's the scatter guns? Farmer scatter guns with some Bolsheviks right there. You've got some
Okay.
turning thrust. You've got the classic MGW farmer weapon that he used on that one ship that was
Station
just
battery.
station battery, just ridiculous. The reason
Very
why some
cool.
people make these ships that are off-centered, or the core is off-centered from the weapons, or the ship is asymmetrical, when 2 ships are dueling at each other, they always try to shoot at the core of the enemy ship. They don't try to shoot at any other specific thing, unlike in Lapsap Now's Vector Armada. But
That took me so by surprise.
that's why MGW is doing this. All those weapons are out there in space on the tip of the ship, ready to destroy the enemy, because they're not going to get touched if you're trying to drill at the core.
Oh, love it.
Also, right at 1,000 radius, which is legal.
Yes, somehow.
Pretty great.
She was.
I'm looking at that triangle in the back. I know what you're
Little
doing.
triangle. Little triangle at the front and back. There's 2 of them.
Pretty
I
great.
love it. Wait, how far are we through? Debris, please zoom out. Where are we?
Halfway through.
Time to hurry.
Let's go. Let's try to go a little faster this
Gary the
time.
Obelisk, a Splunker.
Uh-oh.
no.
It corrupted.
Hyper stacks.
Okay, well, this ship is called Gary the Obelisk by Splinter, or Splunker, as he wrote in the gosh danged author entry.
Splunker.
This is a Terran ship. It's got a lot of armor. That's a lot of armor. That's a lot of armor.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
also got these not weapons, freaking thrusters.
Astro thrusters, a lot of them. An
Very
insane amount of them.
That's a
Ridiculous
lot
amount
of
them.
thrusters for not a lot of acceleration.
Yeah.
That is an accurate way of describing astro thrusters. Yes, thank you, Duke.
What I'm getting at is the ship is way slower than it would appear.
Yeah, like it's
Easy.
barely over requirements. Like a ton of points went into those asteroid thrusters just to move all the armor.
Is this discarding armor?
We'll
Can
have
you
to
look
see.
at the stack?
All right, here you go.
There's octagons, which makes me think it might be discarding armor. I might be
Big
looking
main
into it
body.
too much. Semi-ablative, yeah, says Splinter.
Semi-ablative, yeah. Okay, cool. Next ship.
Indeed, pretty fun.
Awesome.
Next one,
Awesome,
we've
awesome.
got Glowstick by
Glow
Imperiex.
stick. XY.
This ship is a
That's
glow
a lot
stick.
of-
It's got asteroid
Yeah.
thrusters in the back with some of these bad boys. A brick of rigid armor. We got some more thrusters, one of those little modules, another one,
Why?
and a lot more.
Why? Oh my goodness, everybody,
Beautiful.
why?
This
So
ship
much stuff.
takes advantage of the new rules for freaking proton
Yes.
swords. They're longer range, as we mentioned before, and this thing is dangerous if you get too close. It'll just melt right
Oh,
through
I
your
bet.
hull.
So it's basically solo with swords.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
Sword
much.
Solo. Solo duelist.
pretty insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
From
Love
one
it. Okay.
aesthetic builder to another, I really appreciate these spikes. Thank you.
Our next one is a glorious red ship by
Ooh.
infamous Yenyu, or just Yenyu as it says in the sheet. This
like
is a red ship. It's got what? What do you think it has? Oh yeah, it's got Tempests. It's a red ship.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of Tempests. Look at all these Tempests. Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at all of these Tempests. It's a lot of. It's a lot. It's a
those
lot
are
of Tempests.
You know what's really funny with the stream compression? I just thought that was Hull.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Hull.
It just looks like Hull.
Yeah.
Low
No,
contrast
you're right.
Tempests.
Why there's so many Tempests. And then of course a billion generators in the middle. Looks super cool. I love it. I like the color palette. Very eye bleed, but very notable. Nice contrast. And he's got squares at the back for the engine bays, which is, in my opinion, absolute pinnacle of raid engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding work. I love it.
Moving on, we got this one called Hive Ship, which is short for something. Terminus Corporation Hive Ship, I believe.
Okay. I like its little arms. It's got little arms at the front. I like them.
I do as well. This is a fun
Good
little ship.
arms, Al.
This meets the
Lots of
acceleration
drones.
requirement backwards and not forwards.
Okay.
But
All right.
just to make sure that y'all know it is in fact legal, and I did check that. This has drones. It's got drones. It's a heavy drone ship. It's got mostly
Yeah.
asteroid thrusters on it.
Heavy
Yeah.
Armada Master. Very nice.
Heavy Armada Master.
I'm sorry that I equate all drone ships to Armada Master. It's the only drone ship I have. Sorry.
Yeah. It also seems to have a factory, which is interesting.
Yeah, the arms have storage containers.
Yeah, this
is
was
this?
actually submitted to my tournament.
Cool.
It's a good ship. I actually think Yenyu submitted Gravitas Not Found or a similar ship.
Yenyu's been building these red kind of ships for a long time.
Yeah, no, both of these submissions I've seen before, and I know both of them are solid in many ways. The drone ship easily exceeds the drone threshold, so be very, very careful,
drone
especially if you're a small ship.
I love
It is. It's the drone
The
threshold.
kill drone.
Drones are
No, I'm with you.
useless if
I've never heard someone called the drone threshold. I like that. That's actually quite nice.
Folks, let's move on to the next one, which is similar to Brickatron. This one's called Iron Cage of Bureaucracy by
Oh
Lucifer.
my goodness.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Are those 2 nukes? Is that just 2 nukes?
it's 2 nukes.
Amazing.
Yay!
Oh, great. Amazing. Oh, okay. Wow. Great. Sentinel truly has 2 capabilities.
It's a nuke troll, except it's a little larger in width than I think Brickatron is. It's a little bit, the thrusters are less easy to take out in one shot. And also, it's more resistant to damage around the nukes, because also, they're not connected to the core, which means they're more likely to survive for longer. just some optimizations on a tried and true formula.
Like
MGW.
the scream face.
As MGW says, capsule ship.
Ooh, nice catch.
Indeed,
Capsule ship.
those are not legal.
Ah, it's a
I'm not
legal
going to
ship.
red card this
Fan.
ship because that's easy to fix. Let's export it one more time. Expo.
Naughty. You silly man, Luke.
We're gonna go
Alright,
to
thanks.
dot slash.
We are a forgiving and benevolent
Cost enough?
dictatorship.
I'm gonna be very, very, very strict about this because I don't want any ships that do not meet the requirements I have in the rules. Let's go over here to 3 and add ourselves this thruster, which is in fact the legal one. These look like they're Terran. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over here. If I can't make this work with 2 extra thrusters here, then I'm going to red card this ship, or I'm just gonna do final thing. Looks like we do meet it. 156.3. We are legal.
Cheers for shit, for it was another nuke troll and no one was sad.
Oh, oops, oops. How did this happen? Oh, we can't have it anymore.
The ship.
Cool. Next ship. Let's explore
One
and
moment.
fix.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So while I edit that thing, I'm going to go over here to our latest ship by Extrip. Y'all can take this one.
Yef. What? What is that word?
This is just one of the carriers, isn't it?
Sure
yeah,
is.
this is literally just another of Extrip's carriers. I guess he's like the latest version. A lot of drones, a lot of torps.
He ran out of north, east, south, and west because he already used those.
Oh, so this is just F. Not even leave off the west, the north. No, this is F. Great, amazing. Yeah, he's submitted the same hull before. I guess he's just kind of refined it, cleaned it up, got those containers for looks. A lot of flak on the side. Oh, there's flak. Yeah, there's flak.
Those are flak.
Autoguns. And yeah, a lot of torps. This is going to be a nice little frontal deadly ship. I like it.
Give me some of those arena bounce torpedoes.
It's the exact same, says Extra. Thank you, Extra. I actually assumed as much because I've been fighting this thing in the tournament testing. Great, it's the same ship from before. Reference DRRT Winter 2022.
Let's move on to the next
know it.
one.
We know. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I love this thing.
This is called Infinite Planes Filled with Whispers of Possibility by Spheroid, who is a first-time competitor to DRRT and maybe tournaments in general. So thanks for submitting.
So we
love it.
call this possibility?
I'm
Maybe,
calling it infinite. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. What was that,
No,
Kaboom?
go ahead. I just
I
noticed
was-
something about this armor scheme that I want to touch on later.
Okay, I was just going to say infinite is less confusing than probably because we're going to use probably a lot in just normal conversation. So I think infinite will be less confusing. Infinite whispers. Oh, I love it. Look at all the round and all the struck going everywhere. It's got the curves. I love it. I just love how it looks. Sorry, I like shapes. My apologies.
Quote left.
I appreciate
say
the
something.
eyes in the mouth.
From a technical standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very sure that this isn't intentional, but look at those. Look at Cthulhu's longest, farthest reaching tentacles, the ones on the sides. They're connected in exactly 2 points,
Uh-huh.
and if this ship takes a large amount of damage, a huge amount of armor is just going to shear off, which is going to
Yeah,
make its
sure.
acceleration go through the roof.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll actually increase that speed quite a bit. Yeah, you're right. It'll
And
shed
the
some
thrusters,
weight.
the thrusters, for the most part, aren't on those tentacles. So
Yeah.
it'll still be able to turn successfully despite losing a huge amount of mass. I think this ship might just unintentionally
Be very
one of
fast.
those ships that sheds mass very well.
That could be rather nice, although the problem is that it's only really going to shed that if it gets hit in the back like 45 degrees. There's a very thin area where that's actually a useful shred. Because if it's getting shot from the frontal like 45 or 90 degrees, it's just going to go through that
It'll
like
reach the
big
core,
chunk.
yeah.
It'll go through a big chunk and then get to the core and you won't really lose any weight. But if it gets attacked from behind, then I think it'll have the speed to get away, which is actually probably the most useful for that scenario. Cool, nice ship. I like it. What guns does it have? Just
Pretty
plasma
neat.
guns.
Plasma, got some lasers, got some railguns.
burst lasers. The burst lasers is where the budget's at.
Let's move on to the next one, which is Laps's True
Lapsus
Sonder.
Trude.
This is by Luix.
Oh, I love it. What the hell is this?
So this is a Desonder style siege shrink roll, but it's not totally Desonder style. It's got more velocity amplifiers, and so it fires faster, but it's you know, it's kind of a siege tinkerel. It's the same color scheme as Donder was last tournament. And
I see.
by last tournament, I mean 2022 winter. And well, you know, it's a siege tinkerel. There's a lot of these days. Back in my day, you'd never get a siege tinkerel, but now they're everywhere.
The pure disdain in your voice for seeing yet another Dissonder. I agree with Splinter. Says I like the colors, very nice orange. I like the Dissonder style structural matting on the sides, the little wobbly wobblies that go out, and then you got the pointed triangle. Oh, I love it.
I also like that he's trying to call it the true Dissonder.
Yes, true. No, true son of Donder. He's trying to compete for firstborn privileges. That's what he wants.
He's competing
he wants
for the
that
crown?
inheritance. Yeah, he's competing for the crown. You're right.
The heir.
That is Laps's true son Donder. I'm gonna pronounce that wrong. Broadcast on friendly name. Let's move on to our next one, which is called Lethal K2.
Oh,
This
I know.
Splinter Man.
No, the first one was bad enough.
There's a ton in the middle.
Yeah, it's got some rounds in there.
Well, I like that it's both built out of guns and has hyperstack guns, just because that somehow felt necessary.
Red's best
More
armor
guns.
is the Tempest.
Absolutely. No, my complaint is just make the whole thing bigger. Of course, why not? You know, why hyperstack it when you could
You want to dodge. Bigger means harder to dodge.
Dodging's for cowards. Reds don't dodge.
Dodging
Reds
is for
die.
Reds. Reds need to dodge.
Yeah.
Compared to the original Lethal K, this ship is very interesting because the original Lethal K had some very fast regenerating armor to wear armor, quote unquote, in the red sense of armor. It wasn't a Tempest ring yet. It had just some very light red armor, quote unquote, the butter that is red armor.
Sure,
around
some
the
Penrose
sides
1 and 2.
Where the real purpose of it wasn't really to tank shots as much as it was to just deal with glancing shots from splash, which is important for like the 5 missiles or projectiles, what have you, that make it through the lasers, and also important for things like antimatter cannons. This does not have that, notably, and I wonder why.
He realized the true nature of red is don't worry if you get hit. Accept
Is
it.
this
and hit them
one,
harder.
is this one a lot faster than the
Probably.
past Lethal K? It looks
787.
I think it's time to move on to our next ship. I don't want to
I'll
take
move
too
on to the
much
next
time.
ship.
We got Longbow by Slowking.
Longbow.
This is a somewhat like a Dissonder style siege tinkerel. It's got more velocity amplifiers, which means again a faster fire rate. It's got
I
many
would
shields
say-
on it. Also, it's much lighter as well. What's that, Laps?
I would say this is more of like a Riverhawk. Like those are like 8 velocity amps, which is more like Riverhawk's gun. How many damage amps this? Okay, I have a feeling this thing can fire for approximately 0.2 of a second. How many damage amps does it have? 68. What is that? Use that number. I can't read it.
60. Large number.
Okay. No, so this is a Riverhawk gun. Beautiful. I love it. Riverhawk is a good gun, I must admit.
What I love about it is, look at all that turning thrust. Like, half the P of the ship is just turning thrust. And that's very fun. What's the turning radius on this thing?
This thing's got 3.4 radians counterclockwise and clockwise.
Cool.
Ooh, 3 radians is up there.
Yeah, especially with that
These ships.
PID mod.
Okay, next ship.
Speaking of
Longbow
tinkerel,
by Slope.
this is also a tinkerel. This is
My
called
eyes!
My Eyes by Mons Pubis. I can read off a description that he posted with the ship. Let me just pull it up real quick. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. I can't help myself. I see these things and I just do them. And I know I shouldn't, but I can't stop. That is Mons' description.
So what does it actually have on it?
It's got rocket
it's-
drones. Tell us a bit about
is it?
rocket drones.
Yeah,
Satisfactions,
can't you
dude.
see them? It's got rocket drones.
Yeah, they're just
Don't you
like right
see
there. You know, they're just like.
100%.
But yeah, there they are. You'll see them right
Yeah,
there.
he posted this picture like a month ago, and I couldn't figure out like what he was doing with it.
My eyes.
Okay, well, I can't make any analysis of this white object, so
Duke, why don't you tell us a bit about the changes to rocket drones in Satisfactions?
oh sure.
Well, it was quite simple. They used to be bad, and now they're okay.
Each one of them has a turreted launcher on them right now. Whew. Whew.
Yeah, it used to be they were dumbfire missiles, and now they're smart fire missiles.
Oh,
Indeed.
That's
Very
so
cool.
much worse.
They're still rockets, though. They're unguided. Let's move on to our next one. Look at that. It's Munin M6.
2. Munin M6. What is even changed? How do you improve Munin? Does it just have more armor?
I don't know.
It looks like more armor, and it looks like the
think it-
thrusters have been messed with.
This looks like the same amount of armor. It looks more to me like the thrusters have been pulled inwards.
Ah, I see. A more conservative approach to the thrusters. Keep him maneuverable for longer. That is the problem with Munin. Although he's really hard to hit, once you hit him once, he's lost like half his maneuverability and he's just gone. It's like, okay, well, thanks, Munin.
Wait, hold up. What is that? Go zoom in at the thruster stack by the nuke. No,
I
no,
completely
the nuke.
reworked the internals, says Yenu.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like,
thinking.
actually, right there. Hold up. What is that square?
Schemes.
Oh, those are gauze beams.
What? Wait, no. What's the square with the
anymore.
thrusters on it? Where does
Oh,
it
shit.
connect?
It looks like adapters
Oh, look at
and
that.
triangles, maybe.
Beautiful.
How did you do that?
Insanity. With the madness of infamous Yenu. He is infamous.
And again, Munin has been submitted to many tournaments in the past, and it's always done pretty well for a little tiny, no shielded, super stacked Sentinel ship, which is pretty impressive. And the latest version, well, let's see if it's gonna do any better. I hope it will. I think it will.
Yeah.
Knowing infamous Yan Yu. But now we got a ship by you, Laps. What the frick is this one?
The brain just loses his mind. Welcome to Minefelt, which is both offensive and defensive because this field is now mine. It's now mine field because I have mines and I'm putting them in the field. This is the farmer mine laying service. It has a lot of missiles and a lot of speed. It's not trying to hit anything. It's just trying to throw missiles everywhere because screw everyone in the entire field of battle. This is Minefield. Welcome. It's also unstacked. And it's got farmer armor in like a chain configuration. It's got a bunch of thrusters and it moves way too fast. One scattergun at the very front. Do you know what that's for?
No, it's too much.
Nobody knows.
It's point defense.
Yeah, it is. Correct. I don't need AI triggers. This ship just does exactly
like-
what I want it to do.
It's an AI trigger in the opposite direction. You think it's an AI trigger, but it's actually not. My goodness.
I also appreciate that it's essentially a rusher because it has nothing other than forward thrust.
Correct. That is this thing could push around rather big opponent ships, which is quite funny. It's great. I love Minefelt. It's very dumb. It's not going to win, but it's going to be insanely annoying to most things.
Let's move on to the next one, called by Dalrethland. This is, oh no, it's Bob. Pretty cool. This is a Sentinel ship. It's got the classic Sentinel weapons, of which Sentinel have like two. Yeah, might as well just
They've
have
got
one.
nukes and flurry missiles. Is this trying to be Munin Mark II? Beautiful. It's got, I don't know how he got 2 nukes in there with all that other stuff as well. That seems madness. But okay, he did it somehow. Question mark.
The older DRRT tournaments, you could have 3 nukes.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah. That right there is, oh no, it's Bob, which is all of you after seeing this. So, yeah, oh no, it's Bob. Next ship.
Thanks, Del.
Guys, no.
Thanks, Del. We hate it. Okay.
And now we got a ship by Cat. This is called Operation Doomsday, the Terran Islander. It's got everyone's favorite new weapon, or at least revamped, or I don't know, better weapon from
Improved.
Satisfactions called
Improved.
Proton Swords. And you know what? This
It's
thing
great.
is gonna rush into the enemy and slice it in half with its proton swords.
Yeah. 100%.
Pretty cool.
Brutal.
I don't know what else to say because there's only one weapon on the ship.
It's literally one weapon. How did these hyperstack that many things? Pure insanity. There are 2 shields, 4 energy generators. Let's go.
That thruster stack in the back. The very back. How does that not corrupt, my guy?
You can do this can overlap, but the other ones
Yeah,
are a
that's
little
fine.
scarier.
Okay, cool. Next ship.
Next one is by Simplecrum called Pocket Launcher. Why don't you tell us a bit about this one, Simple?
It's torpedoes and like 60 something.
60-something torpedoes. Okay. That's a sufficient description. Thank you, Simplecrum.
You're welcome.
Now, that's a lot of
No
damage.
further statements required.
What time is it?
Cool.
Okay, yeah, let's move
45
on.
minutes?
Next one.
We spent 45 minutes on introductions. Don't worry about it. We've got 48 competitors. It's fine.
Indeed.
Description
Projectile
longer
vomit by
every year.
Dazzle. Cool. What the hell is this? It's farmer with longbows or whatever those are.
Those can't be longbows. There's way too many for those to be longbows.
Let's take a
what's
look.
the other
Surely
one?
those are railguns, right?
I can't
They are
remember the
railguns,
names.
yes.
Those are railguns, yeah.
Thank you.
Railguns, basically, usually they're bait because statistically they pair up favorably to longbows. They have a little bit less splash, but they have better velocity and range. The trap that you usually run into though is that you need a lot of them, a lot of them, which ends up weighing quite a fair amount. But they will pack a punch, especially with this many. I am excited to see how this performs.
You know,
Very cool.
I'm excited
cool.
about the firing pattern. The firing pattern is very interesting. This is my specialty, okay? Like, the whole thing about the firing pattern is the way that those will hit is they will hit in 2 massive shots down the middle. And if those miss, there are side shots that'll get you.
Very cool. Very cool.
Indeed.
Also, I love the farmer aesthetic of the hex hull with the uber unobtainium like meshing. I love it whenever a ship does this. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, this
Looks so
kind of has Weasel energy.
It does, yeah. That's what I was noting. But yeah, there you go. That
Nice.
right there is called
On the
Projectile
show.
Vomit by Dazzle,
Yep.
Dazzle, 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 whatever the heck that name is. And
Uh-oh,
now,
What is why is
much to Jackal's joy, we finally reached the ship titled Propaganda. Okay, some context. Jackal is producing a mod for the game called Reassembly Remastered. And would you look
Why?
at that? Is it? No, it's reassembled, isn't it? It's re. Well, it's another like,
Reassembled.
it's like the freaking, yeah, Reassembly
Reassembly
Reassembled. That sounds
Reassembled.
right, yeah.
Yes. Rambly.
I'm remembering freaking flight pace mods, man.
Reassembly Remastered. Wow, that's coming out in 2024. It's the new Arthur game. I like how it's called Propaganda and you immediately accepted it and became a propaganda pundit for it by talking about its mod.
Yeah.
Well
I'm gonna
done,
be
well
real.
done.
Skip the ad.
We should
Let's skip the ad. But anyway,
Okay. So this is very cool farmer ship. That's a lot of missiles. That's a lot of ZLM Sparrows.
There's a
And a
Those
lot
are
of hyperspace
Sparrows?
generators.
Yes, I appreciate that he left the corruption in.
yeah, that's lore accurate.
Yeah, no, those are definitely Sparrows. I mean, the Sparrows are the smallest farmer missile, and that's what those are. Those aren't the bigger ones.
I'm just more like in shock.
Yeah. Sparrows. Who the hell builds with Sparrows when you're a farmer? Who does this?
I'm also pretty sure that that's way more generators than he needed.
How
I
many
don't know.
Sparrows?
Sparrows are hungry. Sparrows are hungry.
I guess none of us use Sparrows enough to know.
And the notably the farmer large generators aren't efficient size-wise. So
Right.
they look bigger and more impressive than they actually are.
All right, moving
So
on.
there
then,
goes
I
the
guess.
advertisement.
Yeah, there goes the advertisement.
I want to see the
Oh,
next
man.
one. That looks fun. It looks great. I love the look.
What is this?
This
It's a
thing?
nuke.
This thing is called Legalized Nuclear Bombs.
I like
Swag
that it's
Messiah.
a nuke that doesn't.
Bees
It's a nuke that
make
doesn't have
honey.
any-
I can't play the video on stream. I told I would, but I can't, sadly. That's its name. It's called Swag Messiah Legalized Nuclear Bombs by Cat.
Yeah.
And as Splinter says,
Well done,
we
Cat.
love casting
it.
spells.
What? What does that mean? This is a nuke. This is a nuke that doesn't have nukes on it. That is very funny. I love it. What is
Somebody
this?
do the 3 obliterator thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 3 obliterators. Madness. Oh, this is
Notably-
gonna absolutely ace. This is gonna absolutely ace any little ships that get close to it. Ripple fire
Whoa.
obliterators. What are you doing, Cat? Oh, this is terrifying. I love it.
This
is gonna
thing
be
goes
brutal.
pow, 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 pow. Because doing that,
it's gonna kill
that's
things so
pretty
hard.
crazy. It is good for drilling. I think, at least. Let's see if it does.
They're obliterators. It's just gonna murder things. It's gonna be brutal. Obliterate the spawns. Hashtag not sponsored.
Reassembly, reassembled. Hashtag very sponsored.
Wait, hang on. Do those triangles at the corner literally go perfectly with the radian line?
The what line?
Click it, click it, click it, click the ship.
Are you looking for this?
Click the ship and zoom out.
Click. 3?
Thank you. Look at that. No. Go back
What are you
to
looking for?
He just wants to see the bounding
Mode
circle.
2, bounding radius.
bounding circle.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at
they
the
are
bounding
tangent,
circle on
aren't
the
they?
legs.
It's pretty great.
This is beautiful. I love it. I love that they're just tangential to the circle. That's all I wanted to point out. That's great.
That's what
Proceed.
happens
This is a
when
blast.
you're
As you were.
Swag Messiah Legalized Nuclear Bombs, Bees
Cat
Make Honey,
Mania.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Next ship. Moving
Next shift, let's go! This right here is called Serious Brain Rot by Kepler.
I was here during the development of this abomination, and so was Duke. This is the peak of reassembly, the true cornerstone of uncorrupted laser and plasma firepower, right, Duke?
I think it's
Yeah.
got a lot of mortars.
It does have a lot of mortars. It has a lot of mortars and a lot of burst shields, which are its main selling point. Everything else is auxiliary.
Me and Laps were there for the development of its AI trigger. It's hard to see it, but there's a red ring that connects up front to a off-center proton sword.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. One of these ones.
So, yeah, the one that's very clearly off-center.
Oh yeah, you see this thing, right?
It's hard to
Yeah,
see it.
now
yeah.
he sees it. He sees it.
Oh, and it's got burst shields, so it actually has like surprisingly more shielding than you might expect. It's just a little maniac. He'll fly around and do
Yeah.
cool stuff.
That right there is Serious Brain Rot by Kepler. Let's move on to the next ship by Mons Pubis, one of the very first ships that I ever
Oh.
got, called
Oh,
Sword of
Sword.
Milos. I didn't mention this before, but Mons created these ships shortly after Winter DRRT last year. They're pretty crazy. This one's kind of interesting. This is a torpedo ship, but it's very long. It's only 3 blocks wide, 3 max scale blocks wide. It's got the most efficient possible, at least known way of angling torpedoes using this sort of tech. So it's going to produce a very nice spread fire.
Callback.
So
Are
yeah.
those proton beams at the front.
They are proton beams in the front.
Hey,
Oh,
It is
no.
a sword, after
I
all.
love it.
great AI trigger. I love that.
Oh wait, you know
Hey,
what? That
did
might be
you-
intentional because it's
Have
like
you,
that.
Have you noticed all the long triangles? Yeah, exactly.
Good. Okay.
This is just trauma.
Fine. It's acceptable.
Also, he has
Guys,
he has the ASIM all across the ship. So I don't know what I don't know why you're freaking out about that with just that one. Look at all the other.
It's the only one
burst
I saw.
pulses. Those are horrifying.
Let's move on. This is called again Sword of Milos, a torpedo ship with extra long length. And let's move on to the next one, which is called the Ziggurat. Nope, that's not called the Ziggurat. That's called the Tarugiz, which is Ziggurat spelled backwards.
Hell,
It's sensitive.
very cool.
Cheer its name.
Oh, of course, makes sense. Lots of annihilators. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like its general design. I like its aesthetic.
This is
I like
going to
the use of the
be
different hull colors.
like a even. How much of this is core hull and how much of this is armor?
Good question.
The shiny stuff is
This is the auxiliary hull. This is core
auxiliary is
hull.
the dark stuff. So the core hull, the lighter hull is what's predominantly
Yeah.
the stronger of the two. So how quick is this ship?
373.
Okay, yeah,
373,
it gets
yeah.
along.
Yeah, not slow at all. Very cool. Very bizarre thruster setup though. That thruster engine array is weird, man. I like it, but it's very strange.
The typical ziggurat layout.
It notably has reverse
typical?
thrust. Many
Oh, it has-
ziggurats don't have
Wow.
reverse thrust.
A Ziggy with reverse thrust. How did that happen? Strange
cool.
things have happened to drills. One day he might actually join the Reassembly Discord. Who knows? He's going crazy.
Indeed. But yeah, that's called Tarugiz by Drills. Let's move on to the next one, which is called Triangle Gaming by Cookie Creeper. So
Yeah,
that's what I call Triangle Gaming. Moving on to the next ship. This has got max scale, I think. What?
Oh man.
Yeah. These
Yes.
are max scale missiles, and these are small scale missiles. And
Yeah.
it's got mostly larger scale and less of the smaller scale.
I'm just staring in awe at this pinnacle of engineering. What
yeah.
is
It's
this? This is beautiful.
Sierpinski triangle square. No,
Oh, okay, nerd man, speak more math to me.
I think he just
Sapinski's
couldn't figure
triangle.
out how to set the crystal core in there, so he just made the entire ship triangles like the core.
Neat. Very cool. I mean, it looks very nice. I like the engines within. I like the engines doing the what? Oh, the ones at the front are doing turning thrust. Neat. Yeah, I like the triangle and the inverse triangle inside with the engines. That's really nicely done. With the little missile launchers. Oh, it just looks really nice. And of course, it's got a little fish mouth at the front. Nom 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 nom.
It's gonna eat some ships like this small one, like in front of it, which is called V5.
V5 by Slow King.
So,
This is
Drones.
a bee spammer. Oh
bee
my
drones.
goodness. We haven't seen this in a
Beautiful.
long time.
Glorious.
Indeed.
Bees.
I was hoping someone would do it.
A lot of maneuverability thrusters and bee drones. Crazy. Very cool. Very cool.
So notably, B-drones got a pretty beefy change. Their ranges got updated, and they now have the ability to maybe not ram themselves to death. Maybe. So they have the block stats. They have what is it called? Like, it's not a mobilizer. It's the linear force. They have negative linear force, and that kind of just pushes them away from the target. So hopefully away from their kamikaze-like tendencies.
But yeah, our next one over here is not quite as fast as it is a crystal. It is called Vos Introbo.
Vos Introbo.
Instead of Te Introbo, which means like I will enter you, it's like we will enter you or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Or I want to. No. No.
Oh, no.
Okay, this right here is. It uses.
It's
it
a
looks like it
crystal
uses-
missile ship.
Yeah,
Wow.
like Te Introbo was. It uses missiles. This time crystal missiles. They are max scale. It looks like amazing. I will enter you all, as Luke says in the chat. Okay,
It's a very
cool.
interesting crystal hyperstack going on there.
Yeah, that's rather insane.
The
That's a-
connectors.
I'm interested
I
to see
don't-
how it does because I was kind of testing that kind of thing.
Also, it's pointing at its rear. Strange strategy. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Are we sure it doesn't want us to enter it? Anyway, moving on. That was Vos Introbo by Luix.
And hey,
Um,
you know what it is? It's your ship. Why don't you describe this one to us?
Yeah, Juke, tell us about your ship.
What? Oh, this is a Dissonder of the many Dissonders I've designed. This one, unlike the other Dissonders, this one's cool because it's the latest Dissonder.
Crazy. How
What
did you
else
make
have
it
we-
cool?
These weapons, I spent hours and hours making sheets depicting all of the numbers. I don't know what the numbers mean, but it looks really cool.
It's super wide and it has a tail.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
The numbers, Mason.
So yeah, basically, you're welcome for gracing
Yeah.
you with another Dissonder.
Thanks, Debris. I mean, thanks, Duke. Wow, Debris. Now.
You just got cast as Laps and Debris apparently. So that's great.
Yeah. In the hit musical DRRT Winter 2023, secretly in 2024. Well
I can't
done.
wait for Dessander's I Want song. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway.
This is Vice Under Mark 1 by Luke AP. So, okay. What does the Sonder suck at? Moving around. Correct. How do we change that? Make it move around. Correct. Second problem, the Sonder's a spinal ship. It sometimes refuses to shoot things and will do really retarded, like, oh, I'm looking at the enemy, but I don't want to shoot at the enemy. Kind of like weird. He likes to play with his food until the food eats him. So, instead of the Sonder, I took Desonder's gun, split it into half, doubled the halves, put them like nicely on the sides. They like, so now it does like a little left, right motion because the guns will like turn to left when it fires and then turn to right when it fires as the guns come into line of the enemy. It's got an obscene amount of turning thrust and retreat and everything. It's very energy efficient for some reason. And it looks cool, I guess. So Vice Under, welcome. It's not a Dissonder, technically.
All right. Thank you, Duke Slayer.
It's more
for
like a
describing
It's
your ship.
Dissonder, like, yeah.
But
I
yeah.
don't know why Laps was talking just then. That was weird.
Yeah, that's really strange. We're not really sure about it. Anyway, that was I'm Debris. That was Vice Under Mark 1 by Luke AP, right, Luke? Yeah.
Sure was. We got Wheel of Fortune by Imperiac. This is a Tinkle ship. Hey, look at that. It's a lot like Conception, his ship from last tournament. It's got many velocity amplifiers. This causes it to shoot across the arena when it fires like 0.1 shots. And it fires all of them in like one physics frame. It's like ridiculous. And this time it's radial and not long and thin, and so it might be more effective at not dying to the smallest little object like Conception was. So yeah,
I don't know.
Is it
man.
just the
That
one gun?
Is,
one gun.
that gun is on a Death Star port, my man. You take out that, man. It's just
yeah.
bleeding.
Well, here's something interesting though. The core is not right next to the gun base, which is actually pretty good in the universe of Tinkerol design. You saw it was much more apparent on Owlfeather's artillery vessel.
Right.
That one took like full advantage of it.
That is going to get hit by one ZLM Sparrow and never fire again.
Sparrow. Oh, it's an insult. All right, next one is Yellow Yacht by Joyce18. It's a red ship.
Fantastic.
This looks similar to Spear Corvette, and it has an AI trigger. I think you can see it right here. These sticks. I think that's the AI trigger, but I'm not sure. It might be
Isn't it
somewhere
the
else.
thing on the front? It's the thing on the front.
It is the thing on the front. Look at that.
Hey, Debris, remember when you pointed out the indigo and yellow was a cool color combo for VA's primary team?
True.
Yeah, here it is. Indigo and yellow in reassembly. Looks good.
No way.
Yeah, slick.
I love Vector
Yeah, yeah.
Armada. Don't purchase it on Steam quite yet because it's not on Steam quite yet.
So dumb. Thank you.
ad.
Thank you, Debris.
Skip ad.
Skip ad. This is, yeah, again, it's a Tinkerel. What? It's a red.
I've
And,
been doing this
well,
for too long. It's time to finish.
this right here is called the next ship. I'm just gonna move on it. That was again.
Zephyr.
Yeah, this is
Dazzle,
Zephyr.
Lassel. Very, very heavily stacked Sentinel ship, Ghost Beams, Obliterator. Very cool. It's absolutely ridiculous that you somehow fit all that stuff into this tiny little ship. It's got a radius of 139. This is ridiculous.
Look at the Obliterator is facing the wrong direction. The turret angle is they've got a limited angle, and so the forward direction is actually not taken up by the Obliterator, which I think is supposed to be taken up by the Gauss.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Zephyr by Dazzle.
To all those butt cannon doubters, feast your eyes on this one.
Butt
Cool.
cannon damage.
But yeah, that's Zephyr by Dazzle. This right here is, oh, would you look at that? It's the last
Ziggurat
ship.
Hydra. Yes, finally. I mean, what? No, I mean, cool. Ziggurat Hydra by Drills. So it's Drills' ship, except it has what's different? So it has a lot of torpedoes. Are the torpedoes new? I think the torpedoes are
No,
new.
the torpedoes have been always there.
Duke, you're starting to make me doubt my own reality.
Things change very slowly in the realm of the Ziggurat.
Okay, well, it's got the funky engines. It's got torpedoes. It's got stuff. It's got guns. It's a Ziggurat. Cool. Thank you.
It's a
Thank you,
classic.
Drills.
Did you have a thing to say, Kaboom?
The Ziggurat is time itself.
So
Changes
true.
are meaningless.
You know what's also time itself? This flipping segment that's been going on for an hour and 8 minutes.
Well,
I love it.
that right
Good
there.
work, gentlemen. Good work. We're done with DRRT for the year. Hold on.
Yeah, that's freaking every single ship in the
Jeez.
gosh dang tournament that we will see very shortly. But yeah, I'm going to take a break for about 10 minutes, and I'll
Yeah,
be back
that's
on
good.
in some time.